For over 3 weeks now, coffee prices have been dropping, causing mixed feelings among farmers and other sector players. The price of a kilogram of coffee has dropped from 18,000 to 8,000 shillings. NTV sat down for an interview with the Permanent Secretary of the Agriculture Ministry, Major General David Kasura, about the recent changes in the coffee sector. Kasura says recent changes in the coffee prices came with the resumption of coffee growing in countries like Brazil, Venezuela and Vietnam, which had been afflicted by long droughts recently.
So the reason why coffee prices are going down is because the countries which were away, the Brazils, the Venezuelans, which were away from coffee, have now had their coffee back online. So the international buyers are now buying coffee at a smaller price. They are giving our exporters a smaller price. The exporters are giving a smaller price to the primary processors, who are giving the same smaller price to the aggregators and to the producers.
The Permanent Secretary explains that government cannot commit to stabilize market prices of coffee as it is not economical because the prices continue to fluctuate depending on international buyers.
How are you going to subsidize? For example, if the price falls from 18,000 to 10,000, that's 8,000 shillings per kilo. Now, if you are producing 10 million bags of 60 kilograms, that's 600 million kilograms. So a difference of 8,000 shillings per kilogram. So 8,000 times 600, that is what? 48 billion. So you are talking of 4.8 trillion shillings that the government would have to find to put in that stabilization mechanism. It does not make sense, Mzee. It doesn't make sense.
Kasura has dismissed claims that the government policies had led to prices going down.
The price of coffee today is still higher than the price of coffee was before this UCDA saga. It is still higher because today I think the price is about 8,000, 9,000 shillings. It was 5,000 at one point. It was 4,000. And nobody was calling for the banning of UCDA.
Kasura adds that they are now looking at expanding the markets of coffee beyond those that were originally known. Now are looking at new jurisdictions like China and other parts of Asia.
I've been informed that the market value for our coffee in China is $40 billion. To put this in perspective, the total amount of money that we get from coffee from May, end of May 2024 to end of May 2025 was about $2.1 billion. The Chinese market is 20 times this. Now, if you imagine, if we can get 5% of this market, we shall have the same amount of money. If we can get 5% of the Chinese market, we shall have the same amount of money that we are getting in a whole year from all the coffee we are selling in the whole world.
Uganda was registered as a top coffee exporter in the month of May in Africa, surpassing Ethiopia. Kasura says the milestone achieved is because of the efforts the farmers and government have put in ensuring that more coffee is grown. Uganda still lags behind Ethiopia in production of the cash crop. As a way forward, Kasura is urging all sector players to move away from selling unprocessed coffee beans and instead look at value addition in order to ensure stable prices.
Value addition. And value addition, by the way, is not necessarily producing powdered coffee. The most expensive coffees in the world are actually not powdered coffee.
The government is looking at putting in place supportive measures like subsidized fertilizers, irrigation to mitigate climate change issues to ensure high productions. Juma Kiria, NTV.